Hey friends, happy Halloween and welcome to One Flight Down Basement Beer Tastings and our finals for the Pumpkin Beer Showdown!
Happy, happy Halloween, 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 happy, happy Halloween, silver shamrock.
Alright, so we have our top three pumpkin beers picked out from over the past three episodes. I had them go head to head. Today, I've got the top three picked, and they're going to go head to head, and I'm going to have to pick the best of the three. So we shouldn't, there's three beers to do here. We shouldn't waste any time. Let's introduce our contestants. We have from the Good Neighbour Brewing Company in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Pumpkin Pie Milkshake Hazy Pale Ale. This one comes in at 4.8% alcohol. We have from the Flying Monkeys Brewing Company in Barrie, Ontario, Theatre of Madness. This one is a pumpkin lager, and it comes in at 6% alcohol. And our third and final contestant, also from the Flying Monkeys Brewing Company, Paranormal Imperial Pumpkin Ale, and this one comes in at a whopping 10% alcohol by volume. So what I'm going to do them in order of alcohol content, just because I have to put them in some kind of order, and that's as good an idea as anything else that I have. So that has us starting with the Good Neighbor Company. The boring can of the three, but I do actually really like Good Neighbor's branding. I like that I can go to a beer store and go, boom, there's some Good Neighbor, pick it up. But you know, it's no Theater of Madness. So you know, but it's a pretty damn good beer. So let's try it out. So okay, I'm gonna have to make sure I have different glasses for each of these. So, Good Neighbor Brewing Company from Winnipeg, Manitoba will be in the Winnipeg Jets glass. All right, getting good aromas just off the shaklook. Look at the light color on this one. Look how light that is. All right. So I'm going to give that a second to settle. The next one I'm going to do Theater of Madness. I'm just going to do that in a plain pint glass. Here we go. I know. It's like, oh, did you have something exciting for that? No, I just had the Jets one for the first one. Oh, no, I did have something fun for the third, I think. It's not really appropriate to the beer specifically, but it's like the most, I don't know, closest to a Halloween beer glass I have, other than the skulls on the back counter there, but I only have two, and I couldn't put like two of them in skull glasses. It just wouldn't be fair. So this one comes out much darker than the Good Neighbor, just for a quick comparison. I'm not going to be able to do that with three of them. Put them over here for a second so y'all can see. All right. Now, the last one from Paranormal from Flying Monkeys. And that one is going in my Sharknado drinking glass. All right. So they all look quite different. Well, the Good Neighbor is really light, right? Like this is by far the lightest of the three in terms of alcohol content and color. It almost looks like a hazy IPA, right? It's almost like a wheat beer in some ways too. Like this, the beer, not the head. The head really makes it look like a more like a hazy IPA. The Paranormal is quite a bit darker than that, but it is still lighter, I think, than Theater of Madness. Not by much. They're pretty close in color. Okay. Closer than it looked at first. Okay. So, as I said, I'm going to do them in order of alcohol content. So that starts off with the Good Neighbor Brewing Company's Pumpkin Pie Hazy Pale Ale. On the nose, there's a definite sweetness. I'm getting a little bit of the spice that you get in a pumpkin beer, like clove, nutmeg, that kind of thing. But there's just also, I don't know, there's something else in there, and I think it's coming out like it's more of like the whipped cream part of it, because it is a pumpkin pie beer, I believe. Did it say pumpkin pie? I think it did. Yes, pumpkin pie. So that has to include, of course, your whipped cream, and I guess the crust as well. Now that I think about it. Anyway, let's go in for a sip. Definite creaminess to it, like on the finish. The actual body is fairly light, and it's got this nice smooth creamy finish, and I definitely get the whipped cream taste in there, quite strong. Not the crust so much though. Like it'd be like a graham crust, I think, is usually what you'd get with a pumpkin pie. I mean, no, you could get, I guess, like a flour crust as well, but yeah, I'm not getting anything quite like that. But the whipped cream note on it is really good. And yeah, I can taste like a lot of different flavors from the pumpkin pie, like the little bit of cinnamon even, I think that I wasn't getting on the nose. It's quite nice. All right, so that's one down, and next up we're gonna do Theater of Madness. All right, this like color-wise looks exactly like you think a pumpkin beer would. It's got a nice like the head's mostly dissipated now, but it's quite like a fluffy head, a little bit tan in color. Yeah, this is okay. This is interesting. I remember when I did the first episode of the Showdown, I wasn't getting a lot on the nose off of this one, but today I am. And the creaminess is included in that for sure. And yeah, there's just, I think it's mostly the pumpkin itself, not so much the spices. All right. So yeah, pumpkin creaminess I'm getting on the nose. Let's go in for a sip. That is so creamy. The other one I talked about, the creamy finish. This one is creamy all the way through. So surprising since it's considered a pumpkin lager. I don't really associate lagers with being creamy. Yeah, that's quite nice. And again, yeah, the creamy note. So that again, it doesn't say pumpkin pie on this one, just pumpkin lager, but it does have a bit of that pumpkin pie kind of thing. Because I do get the cream in there, and yeah, like some of the other notes, like the cloves and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just a lot of taste happening in my mouth right now. I probably should have been doing palate cleanses between here. I don't have anything like plain to eat today. I'm just gonna take a little glass of water here between these. Okay, last up is the Paranormal. This is the Imperial Pumpkin Ale. This one was 10% alcohol. Yeah, there's an even creamier note. I'm getting the creamy notes more than anything off of all three of these. That's really interesting. But it's really coming through on this one. Yeah. Like straight vanilla I'm getting in there. With I think a bit of cinnamon. And of course, obviously the pumpkin. So let's go in for a taste. There's a lot of cinnamon in this one. A lot of cinnamon. I'm getting way more cinnamon than I think I noticed the first time around. Yeah, nutmeg, allspice, and ginger. It's got ginger too. Yeah, that's not something I think I usually would find in a pumpkin beer. Yeah, that's a big bold taste in there. There's a lot going on in this beer. And I remember the first time I tried this one, I remember it struck me as being really boozy, or at least somewhat boozy. I mean, it is 10% alcohol, but like I could taste that as being a boozy beer. I'm not necessarily getting that as much today. I mean, it's got a big, thick body to it, a really creamy mouthfeel. And yeah, I kind of felt like last time it had a boozy finish, but I'm not getting that so much. It's more creamy again. And yeah, kind of creamy, like kind of throughout the whole thing. Okay, I'm gonna have to try some of these other ones again. Kind of go back to the Theater of Madness right now. The pumpkin itself is a stronger taste in Theater of Madness than it is in Paranormal. Does that mean it's better though? I mean, they're all advertising themselves as pumpkin beers. This one I think has the strongest pumpkin taste. But does that mean it's the best overall? I don't know. Yeah, the Good Neighbor, definitely a very subtle pumpkin taste in comparison to the other two. Which is not a bad thing. Like, I could drink... This is probably the only one of all of these that I could easily see myself drinking a few of them. You know, like sitting down, have a little session with a pumpkin beer. But is that what you want out of a pumpkin beer? Does that make that one the best? Like, yeah, it's the most crushable pumpkin beer. But I don't know if that's the best pumpkin beer. One more time with this one. Man, these are all such good beers. And completely different. But I got to pick a winner. It's got to be done, right? The whole point of this is to pick a winner. I'm not going to do a 4-episode series on telling you I'm going to find the best pumpkin beer for you and then say, they're all winners. I can't do that. So I got to pick one. I kind of thought I was going to go into this eliminating one and then, eliminating and then having like one left. I don't think that's going to work. Maybe if they were all even just a little more similar. But the bodies on these are so different. They're very, very different. So it doesn't quite work that way for me. So like, I don't know, like if a benevolent being came down and basically said like, you have to pick one. The other two are drain pours. There's one that you have to save. Don't worry, there won't be drain pours. But if this benevolent being came down and said, you've got to pour 2 of these down the drain and keep the other, and this will be the last pumpkin beer that you will have all season. I don't know. I would say, screw you, benevolent being. I'm not pouring my beers down the drain, but so I'm not going to do that. And the benevolent being would listen and say, okay, but you pick one because I'm getting tired of this. Like, let's go. This has been 4 episodes now. We want you to move on to something other than pumpkin beers. All right. Okay, benevolent being, I'll do it. If I could only have one of these beers. If right now, 3 pumpkin beers. All right, so if right now I was going to pick one. If I can only have one at this moment. If there's one of these 3 that I just want to sit down and sip and enjoy for the rest of the evening. And the other 2 sadly won't be joining me. Paranormal wins. It's the boldest taste. There's just so much going on in here. It's got everything I would want in a pumpkin beer and more. I think the edge of this over, say, Theater of Madness. Like, Theater of Madness is exactly what you want out of a pumpkin beer, but this is everything you want out of a pumpkin beer and more. There's so much going on here flavor-wise. Plus, the can art. I know the can art doesn't matter. It's the taste we're talking about. But it's got the kid from Poltergeist. It's got the creature from Black Lagoon. It's got like I think that's like a Mars Attacks alien. Well, no, maybe not quite. It's just a giant brain with hands. I don't know. It's fun artwork, and I enjoy it. So, yeah, there you have it. We have a winner. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Pumpkin Beer Showdown is Paranormal Imperial Pumpkin Ale. Congratulations to the Flying Monkeys Brewing Company in Barrie, Ontario. You make some damn good beers. And also, I've got to give a big shout out to the good Neighbour Brewing Company from Winnipeg, Manitoba, because they were the plucky underdog in this case. They're a really new brewery, and the fact that they were a finalist with 2 beers from one of the biggest craft breweries in Canada. Probably one of those craft breweries that people are like, is it still craft? Yes, it is. To be on that scale with them and to have it be a close call, also just a fantastic beer. So there you go. I have my winner. I'm not pouring the other ones down the drain. Don't you worry. I'm just going to sleep real good tonight. That's my plan. Anyways, enjoy your Halloween, everybody. And maybe we'll do this again sometime. I've got more shows coming up on a regular basis, so if you're not already subscribed, please do. I try to put them out every Monday and Thursday. Sometimes I throw in some bonus ones just for fun and do some shorts and stuff like that. But yeah, there'll be another episode coming up this Thursday. So, and that will be International Stout Day. So that should be a pretty fun episode. All right. Thanks, everybody. Cheers. Again, I'm tired and I need to go home. Been here